Hey everybody, I'm Paul Jamaul, and today we're going to be going through Xanathars Guide to Everything, checking out the Samurai class. Now, the Samurai, actually it's a martial archetype to the fighter class. Now, at third level, you choose a martial archetype if you're a fighter, and if you choose Samurai, then right off the bat, you're going to get a bonus proficiency of either history, insight, performance, persuasion, or a language if that's what you'd rather have. But most importantly, for the Samurai archetype, is you're going to get Fighting Spirit. And what Fighting Spirit does is, as a bonus action, you can give yourself advantage on your attacks. And this lasts until the end of the turn. You also get 5 temporary hit points that last until the end of the turn. So basically, this is it's gonna make it really easy for you to hit your opponents. It's going to give you a better chance of getting critical hits, and even less of a chance of getting a critical miss. Who doesn't want to roll 2 20s when they're attacking? You get to choose whichever rolls the higher is the one you get to choose. So, as a Samurai, it's pretty awesome. Okay, I really like this archetype a lot. Now, at 7th level, this ability isn't going to help you on the battlefield, but it's a good role-playing ability. It's called Elegant Courtier. And what this allows you to do is, when you make a charisma or a persuasion check, you can add your wisdom to the roll, your wisdom modifier to the roll. If you got a low wisdom, you're out of luck. So sad, too bad, so sad. But this will also give you proficiency in your wisdom saving throws. And if for some reason maybe you're multi-classed and you already have proficiency in wisdom saving throws, then you can either choose intelligence or charisma. That's up to you. So now, as a fighter, your saving throws are even better. Now, at 10th level, you're going to get what's called Tireless Spirit. And this is where your Fighting Spirit gets sick. Because with Tireless Spirit, when you roll initiative and you have no Fighting Spirit left, you get 1 use. You regain 1 use. So now, you can pretty much, anytime you want, you're going to have advantage on your attack rolls. And at 15th level, you get what's called Rapid Strike. So with Rapid Strike, anytime you have an advantage on an attack roll, you can forgo the advantage and you can get an extra attack in instead. So with all the extra attacks you get as a fighter, you get an extra attack at 5th level, you get one at 11th level, and another at 20th level. This is 15th Rapid Strike. So you would have 3 attacks. So this Rapid Strike would give you 4 attacks because you can only use Rapid Strike once a turn. But then again, you might just be better off rolling those dice with advantage, chopping down your foes, trying to do max damage. Maybe you got a high strength from all your ability score increases, or maybe you took Savage Attacker from the feats. Speaking of which, when it comes to your fighting, for your fighter class fighting styles, if you're going to go the Samurai archetype, it looks like dual weapon fighting isn't really that good, because fighting with 2 weapons, you're using a bonus action to get in that extra attack, and you won't be able to use your Fighting Spirit if you're using your bonus action to attack with your secondary weapon. So that kind of sucks. You know, a lot of samurais you've seen with the katana and the wakizashi. But so for this, if I would just go with like a great sword, or maybe like a maul or something like that. You'd be like an oni with his tetsubo or okibon. I forget what they're called, but it's a big metal club. Great club. You know, I've made character builds before, and instead of using a great club, I just used a maul and made the maul look like what I wanted it to look like, which was a big iron club with studs all over it. So that's my advice. I would not take 2-weapon fighting. I would either take the great weapon fighting or dueling if I was going on the Samurai archetype. Now, at 18th level, you get an ability that is called Strength Before Death. And what this allows you to do is, if you get dropped to 0 hit points, then you can use your reaction and you take an extra turn. And this extra turn interrupts the current turn. So if someone drops you down to 0 hit points, use your reaction if you have one left. Use your reaction and you just chop into them. You know, you can use your Rapid Strike, or just hopefully you're just rolling on advantage and getting them criticals maybe, and you're chopping down your foes. You're going to get your extra, at this point you would have an extra 15 hit points from your Fighting Spirit, which go away at the end of the turn. So if you haven't been healed, or maybe you didn't use your second wind, then you're going to be at 0 at the end of your turn, and then you drop unconscious. So that wraps up all the abilities you get for the samurai archetype. And you add those in with your fighter class abilities of extra attacks. You get all your ability score improvements unless you're choosing feats. You have Indomitable, Action Surge, Second Wind. So I think this build is pretty sick, looks pretty fun. I'd love to be able to make a character and play it. Don't think I'm going to really get a chance to too soon unless he's an NPC, but that's kind of boring. I probably will make some builds out of this character. I got a couple ideas. Thinking like a half orc with, like I was talking about, the big club, just clubbing people down. He'd be like a, kind of like an Oni looking character in samurai armor, or else a guy with a great sword. Originally I was thinking samurai would be cool with the 2-weapon fighting, but the way, like I said, the way fighting spirit works using a bonus action, it just wouldn't work out good. You'd be losing out on. You wouldn't get. Fighting spirit is pretty much what makes the samurai archetype, in my opinion. So if you're not using that if you're not using that correctly, then you're just wasting it. So I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't go 2-weapon fighting. I'd either go great weapon or dueling, and so that's about it. Samurai from Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and like I said, that's on. You can find that on page 31. So I'm Paul Jamaul. Help a brother out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you later.